Hello, crypto, and welcome back to our third, I think it's our third or fourth weekly Blaze. We've got a massive show tonight. We've got a panel of crypto builders that are all building on the TitanX ecosystem, but also most of them are building elsewhere and other chains as well. So we've got, I think there's 7 of us going to be on the panel tonight. We're going to have some quick fire questions and just get a general gist from all these awesome guys that are building hard of what they're doing, what their favorite coins are, what they're looking at, what they think shaping crypto at the minute, and the state of crypto and the Pulse chain and TitanX ecosystems. So, Josh, you want to start bringing a few people up there? There's a whole ream of guys coming along tonight. Crypto Kool-Aid, the dude from Helios, Bad Sports from Blaze. We've got Punky from Titans of Battle in Wonderland, and James from Baby Dragon X, and Merrick from Eros, who they just launched their project at the weekend. So how's it going, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. We'll just fire around the room quickly, and everybody can just introduce themselves, a little bit about their project. So yeah, James, Baby Dragon X, do you want to go first there? Just a quick introduction of yourself.
Yeah, sure. It's great to be here. I've been following Blaze for a long time. So, James, over here, we founded the protocol Baby Dragon X. We were the first protocol to build on Dragon X, and it's going fantastically well. We're just kind of sitting over there waiting for day 369. So, in the meantime, I've started to build elsewhere. Great to have everybody here. Thanks for the invite.
Great stuff. Punky, what about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me here. So if you guys haven't known, so I'm in charge of Titans of Battle. We have been kind of building out and minting the Titan NFTs right now. Kind of put the project on hold for a little bit while I'm building out this other project on Pulse Chain called Wonderland. It's a group of reflection tokens that kind of reflect back to each other, and you earn rewards for just kind of holding them, right? So it's the Wonderland token project. So
yeah, for me, it's great to see that there's so much crossover. A lot of the people here that are building on TitanX are also building on my favorite chain, Pulse chain. So this is great to have a lot of you guys here. Dude, what about yourself?
Hey, I'm happy to be here. This is gonna be awesome. But yeah, if you don't know who I am, I'm the founder of Helios. If you don't know what Helios is, we're a mining protocol similar to TitanX, but we've got the added benefit of treasuries. Our first treasury is TitanX itself. We've got it staked and earning ETH. And then we've expanded with 𝗕𝗏, and that's earning us Pulse, which I think a lot of you guys are Pulse chain fans.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning. Everything I'm coming out with is adding to additional treasuries to like regardless of participation, like Helios is always going to have a buy and burn running as kind of the direction that we've gone with.
Before I go on to the other couple of guests, quick question for you, dude. Were you involved in Pulse Chain before you built on TitanX, or did that come afterwards? And would that have came from dealing with a lot of people that you're dealing with and talking to at the minute?
It absolutely came afterwards. I didn't know anything about Hex, Pulse Chain, Richard Hart, none of that stuff until after TitanX.
Yeah, you see, a lot of people a lot of us, not a lot of people were bashing TitanX and things like that, but a lot of people always had the intention of making some money with TitanX and bringing the gains back to Pulse Chain. It's a massive part of the crossover between the two ecosystems. So yeah, I'm really glad to hear that that's what happened, that came after, and that dealing with a lot of the guys that are building on TitanX has brought you over to the Pulse Chain ecosystem as well. Merrick, how's it going?
Well, hello.
Congratulations for your launch for the weekend.
Thank you very much, Ali. Thank you very much for the Blaze and everyone to having me here. It's a really pleasure. Dude, I'm so glad I can see your face, man. We spoke a few times over the phone, and it's good put the face to the voice now. So happy for this. Thank you very much.
And a quick, sorry,
yes.
quick question for
Yeah,
you,
go
Mark,
on.
as well. There's a rumor that you and 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 spent some time in a hot tub together. Is that true?
It wasn't a hot tub. We wasn't in the same even room, but
Or the same country.
we did. Yeah, I had the pleasure to talk with 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 on the phone as well. Yes. So I'm just happy. I'm a founder of the project Eros, as you can see, the pinky guy, and we have two Eroses, if you like. One has been launched in Pulsar. It's been active for over 2 months, and one certainly just a few days ago, 2 days ago, launched on Ethereum on a TitanX. I just add to what Dude mentioned before. We do have a kind of plans and cooperation with Helios. We make the pool on a Pulse chain with Janos, his token.
Hang on.
You know me.
We'll get to the collaborations later on. Leave the
all right. Okay. Yeah.
And sorry,
So
last
that's it.
last but not least, 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, how's it going there, sir?
Doing good, guys. Thanks for having me. I mean, I've talked to all of you guys nonstop for months and months and months and months since the beginning of Titan. And like a little bit about me or us and Team 𝗕𝗃𝗃 and Pulsar. I've been the game dev guy of 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃 for 4 years. So obviously I've been into Pulse Chain. And, you know, I coined the term at the very beginning of TitanX that Titan is a proof of Ethereum using multiple systemic components that deflate over time to bind the ETH putting into something else. And then we had the entire wrapping of what we want to do with Pulsars to bind two L1s through Titan, through 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃, what we've been sussing out and going component by component as we move through our systems to make sure that what we're doing is not just well simulated, but thought out in real time. So we have GIF, PermaGIF, the entire 𝗕𝗃𝗃 suite. We just launched 𝗪𝗲, and now as we're running our last bit of metadata, we're sussing that out to actually get to the Pulsar release, which is going to be bringing that Titan over to not just Pulse Chain, helping work on making it deflationary, and suss out some new ideals to actually bind those two L1s together. So it's always really exciting and great to have you guys here. You all are very dear friends. I've talked to you many, many times over the last, 7, 8 months. It's almost kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I can't believe it's been that long.
There's been a lot of crossover, everybody in the same chat rooms and everybody pitching all the projects. It's been great, but you guys have done absolutely fantastic. And for people watching, if you don't know what 𝗕𝗃𝗃 is, you've been obviously living under a rock for the last couple of months. So yeah, definitely worth checking out 𝗕𝗃𝗃 over there, 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃 over on Pulse Chain. So look, we'll get into a few questions. First question I want to just ask, every quick fire around the room, is just, you know, what are your favorite, what's maybe your one favorite project outside the TitanX ecosystem? So anything else other than what's within TitanX at the minute? So James, any projects that you're buying the coins, you're watching what's happening, anything in particular at the minute?
Well, at the risk of sounding like a shill, I love 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃. I absolutely love what they're doing over there. I'm super hungry. In fact, I'm tapping on Kool-Aid. Hey, when can Baby Dragon X get in on some of this? Really, I mean, that's it. Even more than the other things that I'm building outside. I take a lot of inspiration from what Crypto Kool-Aid and the Pulsar team are building there.
Yeah, well said. They're kind of they're definitely stealing the show at the minute. There's no doubt about it. Punky, what about yourself?
Yeah, Pulse Chain, definitely, right? A lot of stuff going on different chains right now, but I've kind of come back to the original kind of group of people that I used to kind of hang out from before, the old Hex crowd, right? Crypto Kool-Aid,
Okay, awesome.
right? So, so I made it back and been definitely watching your project, man. 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃 is cool tech right now, right? And then iBurn saw that, definitely. And you definitely have plans to do this for like Hex and the other kind of the ecosystem too, right?
No promises, no promises. But I would say that we do love to build, and we are, again, thinking in components, not rushing with ideals. I mean, we have principles, not promises. So we're going through everything each individual way to make sure that we have taking looks at everything from the opposite point of view where you start. But yes, so that would be awesome things that we would love to bring back to Pulsar.
Yep. And also my project too, right? So yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, well, you were originally on over in Hex and Pulse Chain before you built the Titans of Battle over on the TitanX ecosystem.
Yeah, I've been kind of all over the place, right? So I started way before even like Hex started, right? But yeah, so early Hex auction, AA stuff, right? So I was in there, and then I was in for the Pulse Chain sacrifice, Pulse X sacrifice, right? So
God love us all.
part of, yeah, right. I was part of all of that, and then the whole kind of outrage marketing kind of started and kind of turned me off a little bit, right? So kind of stepped away and kind of went into the Zen world a little bit, right? Kind of try to see what was over there. Built a couple of apps on Zen. It's okay. It's doing decently right now. And then kind of made my way back into the Pulse Chain and the TitanX crew right here. Right? So yeah, just kind of my head's in a bunch of different projects right now. So
awesome. What about you, dude? What anything you've got your eye on at the minute?
I have not been able to keep up with anything outside of the TitanX ecosystem, like since I've been getting into it. But like an oldie but goodie for me is GMX over on Arbitrum. Like I've been a long time staker of GMX, and it's a futures exchange, and they've just been pumping out rewards for me for a couple of years now. And I'm a long-term believer of what they got going on.
They were one of the best performed protocols, the whole bear, weren't they? Like one of the only ones actually making people money.
Like on Arbitrum, like they are the #1 protocol, I believe. They've got tons and tons of volume. And I am happy to say that I've gotten in on that token pretty early. So like I've got a pretty sizable stake now, just as like the price of the token's gone up. And I'm loving it. But like TitanX, man, like this is my new home. This is my new family right here. And I'm waiting, I guess right now for day 369.
That's great. No, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that. We're kind of fairly new to building as well, and it is really difficult. It just eats up so much of your time that you so maybe some things out there and what's going on in crypto, you do kind of lose touch of a lot of stuff. But for me personally, I really enjoy that side, the building and dealing with the developers and doing all that sort of stuff too. And we're going around the room here, and nobody's talking about any absolute shit coins or anything. I was hoping a few people were going to bring up a few meme coins or whatever.
We could if you want to.
I'm sure Marek will.
Yeah, I hope there's some DJing going on in the background for you guys too. Marek, what about yourself?
I have to say, Pulse Chain, Ali, I can't lie. I have to say, Pulse Chain. It's my heart belongs to Pulse Chain because that's where all started. Yes, and that's where all we met, and that's where everything started. If you want to hear about, I could say few meme coins. There was lots of talks about these reflections tokens we're not allowed to mention anymore about.
You were the super shell of Pulse Chain reflection tokens at one stage.
You remember this? Yes.
I remember it well. I remember well.
Is it that I'm only one non-native English speaker here, besides Ali, of course, in this group, right?
Yeah.
I mean, people technically understand only like a few words that I say, so I think I speak English, but not everyone gets all the things.
That's why you repeat the same ones.
Yeah.
Just playing around. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Josh disappeared on me there just before I was going to ask him. All right, a little bit more of a serious question.
Well, hold on. How about you answer your own question?
Oh, my own question. I do a lot of DJing on the side. Baby GIF is the one for me.
You all are in trouble. You all are in a lot of trouble. You have no idea I own all the pixels. But I think one of the things that you should consider isn't just a token, but a mythos that you're trying to look at, right? If you have proof of time, which would be what a T-share was, and then you look at how to wrap a mutable proof of time, which would be icosahedron, and how you could actually get an HSI. You can take that mythos and step away from not wanting an OA because of problems, and look at what Zen did as proof of gas. Now, fair launch has its own inflation issues, and those have to be considered moving in with Titan, right? Proof of ETH. And so all of those are really good ideals to bake down into not just what's a token, but what's a pillar or an interest point that you build on top of, that you move through and use. And that's really the best things about building, is understanding what and why you're building instead of just wrapping something off a vanilla deployer and shipping it out. That may or may not have.
Is that his way of telling somebody off?
No, not at all. But I mean, even look at this, right? Hex is theoretically a meme coin if you don't put it onto the T-share train. If you're holding liquid Hex, you have a ticket to get on the T-share train to then get icosahedron, communists, any airdrops that come from it, any other ecosystems that reflexively bond to it. So the vanilla wrapper plugs into a component and then it's used. So it's looking at those stages on how, as us builders, we're building our things, right? And I think that's the most important thing to consider as we continue to build moving forward.
Okay, nice one. Well, that leads quite nicely into the next sort of question that we'll fire around the room. Is, do you have any ideas, or what do you think might shape crypto space in the next 5 to 10 years? Are there any protocols? Are there any technologies? Anything at all at the minute that you think will be a big part of what makes crypto over the next 5 to 10 years?
Sure.
James?
Yeah, so I really believe this whole RWA thing, the real world assets, it's almost the final frontier in some ways. So yeah, RWA, I'll just leave it at that.
Punky?
Yeah, for me, it's the UI.
Go ahead.
Like, until grandma can use the blockchain, it's not going to get adopted by everybody. Like, we need better UI, plain and simple.
Do you think? Well, see, on that, do you think there has been much improvement then in the last couple of years? Do you think there's been much improvement to make onboarding easier for people?
Well, I'll say I switched over to Ravy wallet, and like, I feel like that's amazing compared to MetaMask, which has been pushed. Like, that's the #1 browser extension wallet, and like, moving over to Ravy, I'm like, what the hell? What have I been doing? Like, how long has this been around? Like, they show there's just so much more features that go on, and automation. Like, when you go from say the TitanX website, it knows, hey, TitanX is on Ethereum, so it switches to the Ethereum RPC, and then you switch over to GIF, like, it knows, hey, this is on Pulse Chain, and it automatically switches over to Pulse Chain. It's little things like that like make a difference. And like the automation, just the complete ease of use, which like right now it's just barely getting started.
Yeah, personally, like, my father, who's in his 80s, keeps asking me, how do I get into crypto? And I don't want to obviously tell him just to go to a centralized exchange and buy some. But after a year or two, I still haven't managed to actually bother to sit down. It's just still, for me, it's still too complicated. So that's the thing you're saying about grandparents. He's in his 80s, and it's just too difficult for me still to tell him and explain what's going on. Punky, what about yourself? Any thoughts on what's going to shape crypto over the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I kind of agree with the dude there too, a little bit, what you guys are talking about, ease of use, adoption. But for me, something that kind of excites me is a little bit of like omni-chain, like trying to get technology bridged over and liquidity bridged over from like different chain to chain without having too much like issue moving like the value of like whatever these tokens are from like one chain to another. And I'm kind of seeing some of this kind of stuff happening with gift tech, right? Definitely, with the price parity and things trying to bridge over from like ETH chain to the Pulse chain, right? That's like one part of it. But The other thing is like Chainlink and I think OmniChain, dude. Like I think he likes that company, but they have some tech where you can kind of like call functions within the contracts within like the different chains and stuff like that, and you can actually move like the value of like the tokens too from chain to chain, right? That's the kind of stuff that I like to see kind of happening or come into fruition within the next few years, right? Where
Yeah.
you
So
just don't worry about which chain it's on. It's just I have this token and I want to sell it somewhere else, right? And I
yeah.
can just do that,
So
right?
I mean, if things go that way, and that I mean that to me sounds absolutely fantastic. But if things go that way, do you see something that where we end up with like a much smaller amount of chains? There's any number of chains at the minute. In a world
Ah,
like that,
jeez.
with maybe 4 or 5 chains kind of lead the way, and everybody just kind of flits between the 4 or 5 maybe best chains, and all the rest is just vaporware, or does it end up where it's just an absolute multitude and everything is easy to flip from one to the next and everyone is its own little speciality?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe like the best tech wins out at that point, right? Like how uh, I like to kind of compare it to because I'm a developer, like the browser wars that happen between the different like browser people using, you know. So
Oh yeah,
like,
I don't mind jumping in there. It's a great
yeah,
point between like let's go back to the Alta Vista days and Ask Jeeves or all the rest of that before Google was Google. Understanding who wins the HD or the Blu-ray wars or all the rest of it is one component, but it's all how do those fluidly move interoperability in between each other, because someone can complain that Pulse Chain's price just keeps going down. I'm like, well, Solana's broken every other day. Can't
yeah,
get your
right.
stuff out. So like everyone has a different ish of pain. But like what we're doing over here at FanForge, which almost excites me, if not more, but if as much as what we're building on the gift tech side, is the FanForge is we're binding decentralized real artists, real entertainment, real audio dramas to get people on the blockchain to have digital rights management. If someone can buy something, let's say possibly with a credit card, and they don't even know they have crypto, that's onboarding. When people realize that they want to watch something and they're actually entertained by it. Remember, entertaining an advert owns the world. And so if you really want to onboard, make them entertained, not confused. Because the more you want to get sussed into this technology, it's bloody great for those that like building technology. But if you just want to be explained like you're 5, oh, here's a movie for you to watch. Watch that. Oh, and that number could go up, or you're in giving the creators royalties back as things are traded, or you give the creators their own digital rights that people can strike in a 5-10 man team and now create things with the advent of AI and all the rest of that stuff. That's really exciting. It's super, super exciting. And the same core team on Gift Tech is the same core side over on FanForge. So
See, it's funny. I was mentioning before about getting sidetracked. I've seen FanForge getting mentioned all over the place, and it's one of those things that I haven't even taken a little bit of time to go and do a bit of research on it. So listening to you mention, before that you were in a meeting for FanForge and that it's a couple of the same teams, I'll maybe actually get my finger out of my ass and go and check out what you guys are actually doing there.
Sure.
Sounds like it's something.
Let me not even put an elevator pitch, but Paul Lamone, he's the cinematic finisher for Blizzard for 25 years. He created Tyrael in Diablo 1.
I don't know what any of that is.
This guy's a legend, and he's one of the spearheads besides Joe Solo to bring this vision together. And it's going to be very, very interesting. We're still slated. I mean, this is entertainment, so we cut on the living room floor as we go, running right up to ship. Hopefully by the 7th of next month to have the first audio drama out. But that's going to be fascinating to see. Like, just like we do at everything on our side, we want to do a simulation and see what's going on. But FanForge is going to be monstrous, not just for crypto adoption, but for artists, for creatives, for people that want digital rights management and want to have that throughput. It's going to be really cool. So highly check it out.
Okay, that's a quick elevator pitch, but I mean, is that going to be, is that a multi-chain type of thing that it will be then? Is that
no, it's going to be on Pulse Chain. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Big question is any of this tied back to GIF?
The core team is there. We'll just say that.
Oh, okay. Not in a tokenomics kind of way, right?
Well, all of us are builders, right? The core team is there. Like the people that we have on Gift Tech team, the best. I've worked and known a ton of them most of my life. They're incredible people. So the same idiom is on the Fanfort side. Joe Solo is a colleague of mine for 13 years. He's known Paul Lamone for 17 years. The entertainment industry is exceptionally small, especially once you get your 10-year chip in, because all of us either burnt out, go away, or the industry eats us alive. So it's going to be really cool to see. And I'm really super excited just from my 18 years in the game dev industry to try to bring this not just to Pulse Chain, but to the entertainment, film, game, storytellers, narrative kind of point of view. And yeah, just give it a watch, what's going on in real time. And it's going to be exciting for builders, for adoption, for crypto. That's super exciting for me.
Yeah, see, just listen to you talk about a lot of that stuff. I mean, Pulse Chain really is on fire at the moment. The amount of people that are building really good stuff, and the amount of activity that's going on over there, it just feels so underpriced and underappreciated by the rest of the sort of crypto market. It's unbelievable, a lot of things that are going on. But Marek, what do you think? Anything you have any thoughts on this one?
End of 𝗪𝗂𝗃, that definitely would bring adoption pretty quick. But
sorry, who the hell let Mo in?
The Mo!
Is it? I was told there'd be cake.
No.
Oh, no. Remember, there is no cake. The cake is a wild search. Never trust the portal.
I don't have audio. Damn it.
You sound just fine. If not, I'll talk for you.
I lost the audio.
The moment says the cake is a lie.
Damn.
Log back in and come back.
Can you guys hear me?
That really
Give me a
sounds like
nods
a
up if you
game.
can hear me.
Mo on aisle 3. Mo on aisle 3. Please bring your Mo to the front.
Fuck.
That's the
That
best.
would have been fucking hilarious.
Earphones are looking for you, Mo.
No, it's okay. We can hear you. Sorry, Marek, you got cut off there. You were talking about the end of the SEC.
yeah, that would be in a short run. Things like regulation for sure. Innovation is one of the things which driving a growth in the crypto space, and I think there is always place and always will be place for innovation, and that will bring some adoption to it. Collaboration as well, that's very important. Like open communication between regulators and the industry players, yes, within the crypto. Mainstream adoption. This, like the future of crypto, likely includes the increased adoption by individuals and the institutions. But it's hard to say. I do think as well ease of
This isn't working at all. Damn
it. Moe, shush. Yeah, so SEC is a pain on us at this moment at time. So this could stop for sure. And what the dude said, I agree with him, ease of access. At this moment in time, it's very, for someone who isn't in crypto, come on, try to explain him how to buy.
If y'all can hear me, then fucking where's the cake, man? I was told there's supposed to be cake. I can't hear you guys though, so the joke totally died.
Did we lose audio? It's Mark.
Fuck it. If there's not cake, I'm out of here. I can't.
Mo's just come in to fuck everything up here.
Oh man, that would have been a good joke. All right, well, I'm here to support you guys and just stand here in silence.
We love you, Mo. We love you, Mo. Thanks for coming. You're everywhere.
Standing here.
But we're gonna kick you out.
If there's no cake, I'm gonna leave.
You should do this to every stream now, right? Just pop into everybody's streams.
Yeah,
What's going on? Is there cake?
You see everybody giving Mo the 2 thumbs up these days. He's doing a great job. Support. He's not a builder, but he's helping. He's certainly helping and stepping up and helping every one of us, I'm sure, promote our projects and doing all that he can. He's been a great asset to not only the TitanX ecosystem, but also he's making a name for himself over in the Pulse chain as well. It's great. He's doing a great job. Josh, big brain time. Do you have any thoughts on what will shape crypto in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's been very positive in their responses. I'm not sure we're going to be playing the same games we are today. I think yeah, it's going to get onboarding will get easier, but I think the decentralization that we've got at the minute will be a lot more difficult with with legislations that local governments will bring in and whatnot. And obviously there's always ways around everything, I know that, but I think we'll have to jump through so many more hoops to try and get to play the games that we enjoy today. But yeah, we'll always find a way around it, right? So that's why we're here.
Absolutely. Now I know we'll move on a little bit. I know everybody is builders here, but if you've been through another cycle before, I'm just wondering, have you had an exit strategy in the previous cycle, and do you have some sort of exit strategy for this cycle? Now I know we're all here and we're all building, but obviously we need to take some money out into the real world. We all want to work here and make ourselves successful, though. So do you have an exit strategy? Have you any? Not even hints for people. Just do you have plans that if you do well this cycle, any plans to exit some of your positions, and what way will that affect the continuation of your projects, James?
Yeah, so I first got into crypto in 2017 with the whole $500 into Ethereum. And ever since then, I've been in and I've been out. I did the CryptoKitties thing and all this. So in 2021, I had a decently sized GameFi guild of 300 players. I was making more than my Microsoft MNC job at that thing. And it was a hobby. It was literally a hobby. So now in this next bull run, which I feel like we've been in for 6 weeks plus, I don't have an exit strategy. This is my job. Like I'm doing a couple consultancies and type things, but I pull out money every month. This is like living expenses and such. So while I don't have a specific exit strategy, if I make $500,000, $1 million, 10 million, I don't have exit strategy, but I'm just living off the revenue, and by building great value for the community, it's actually starting to work.
Awesome. Punky?
Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat. I was trying to make a living off of crypto, right? But what got me started was big time hex, man. And what is it? The early COVID relief checks, right? The first $3,000 check, I just plopped it down all into hex, right? And it turned into a lot of money actually at one point, right? So should have sold at that time, but it was locked up in the hex stake for that long time. Hex strategy, right? You're supposed to do the 5-5-5-5, right? So
Yeah.
I didn't do all of it 5-5-5, but so I still have some locked up still. But that monthly payment and my living expense idea didn't work out with the staking strategy. So I'm with James. I'm building protocols and building cool tech for you guys to kind of enjoy while trying to make a living out of this, right? So
Yep.
that's been my modus operandi. And my biggest question, actually, back to you guys, is like, when do you think the cycle, how long do you think this will last, right?
Like, I will hop in there. I was listening on my phone while I stepped away for a smoke. One thing that we're trying to teach on the gift tech system is how not to just exit out properly when you need to take profit, whether you're doing single-sided LP or you're doing limit orders or things like that. Because I think people dump red candles. One, maybe they don't know how to do it, or B, they just want bragging rights to crush other people. But if you use the tools that we are building in between the gift tech system, you can take your GIF, mint it up to PGIF, arb that back down because it's proof of pulse. And from there, take your 𝗲𝗂𝗃, move that over into iBurn. And then from there, arb that back down. What you've done is you've hardened 2 of your perma assets that ideally you already held to begin with. So that pulse profit that you would have had from that position, now you can exit cleanly because you've actually supported both of your bags from creation, not inflation. So actually using the tools correctly is important. And the other thing that James is talking about is something I've talked about for a while, is if you are paid to be entertained, you have pure market fit. We are going to be moving into an ecosystem now with AI tools, utilities that give you that bonded system. That's why, again, I'm super excited about FanForge, that allows people to turn this from a hobby into a full-time paying job, and also give you the exposure and onboard other people, because it's interface, as the dude was talking about, the UI, but it's actually the UX, the user experience that you're getting out of it that then feeds into that. So during those next market cycles, whatever happens, I think the even scarier thing is what happens with regulation. This may be the last crazy bull run that we have that doesn't have crazy things with 3 letters and all the rest of that coming off of our onboards, offboards. How do we get exposure to it? So if your money is in the system, at least you can play with it and use it. But using the tools correctly to exit is just as valuable as knowing when the cycle will end. Sorry to hop in there, but yeah, let's move it to when do you think the next cycle is going to change?
Yeah, that's the biggest question for me too, right? Is just how long this one's going to last. I've always been at the kind of the tail end. I'm trying to sell into when everybody else is sold out already, right? So, or just kind of left holding the bag for the whole entire bear cycle, right? So,
I mean, to me, it's DCA. You DCA in, you DCA out. Like you don't just dump. You don't just go all in on anything the same way you don't just sell out on everything all at once. And to me, it's, diversify. And yeah, like I don't know when, I think we still have lots to go in this bull market, but I'm not a day trader. I don't know that any of us really are day traders, but we just go off of sentiment. And to me, like, if you just, like peel off just a little bit every, once a week, you set your own strategy. And to me, it's like a weekly thing, just see how the market is, sell just a small percentage of it and let the rest ride type of thing is where I'm at.
Marek?
Well, it's always difficult. I think it's more difficult to take the profits than invest. I mean, for sure, we all know that. And I agree with Dude and 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗿. I agree with Dude that once you learn how to DCI, you should learn how to, you learn DCI in, you should learn how to DCI out. When we're gonna to do this, as Bet Sports says, we don't know. We don't know when. Maybe next year, half of the next year, in the middle of the next year, we definitely have to think fast to start DCIs. But what I would like to say here, the very important things is a passive income. It's much more important to secure your passive income through the, regardless of the bull run or the bear run, than earning lots of money at once and then struggle to find a strategy to take it out. One protocol that Dude mentioned before as well, I use this, and the GMX, it's really good. And one thing I would like to just mention, because I think this is good opportunity time, we are building actually a protocol and will be launched first on the Pulse chain, which we hope it will help communities, crypto users, to secure this passive incomes through the bear run as well. That would be the Eros market.
Yeah, so look, I mean, obviously, whenever I get into crypto in 2021, I was kind of, coming into the tail end of the bull market and DCN and getting all, learning as I went. But my own personal strategies have changed very much. It's funny, 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗿 talks about, what I fell in love with crypto, and when you get obsessed, and it's a natural thing to want to start building and adding to the systems that are out there. And 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗿 hitting on that entertainment thing over and over again. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with my Pulse Wars project, is to bring a little bit of entertainment back in, to make crypto just what my project is. It aims to be entertaining for people, that, some people will win big, some people will win small, some people won't win at all. But I hope that everybody that gets involved in my project has fun and is entertained along the way. That's why I've got my weekly show, and I'm trying to build a lot of different ideas into it just to engage the community. And for me, that will probably most likely, it's the kind of thing, it's the kind of project that can be launched on many different chains. It's the kind of project that can be run over and over again. It can be an annual type of thing. So that's where, a year ago, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to need to start build up the DCA in, and that was always my plan, to start DCAing back out at the you know, ideally at the end of this year, would start taking some profits and continue to DCA out. But now I'm locked in. I ain't going nowhere. I've got Pulse Wars on the go. We've got Blaze, which is going to run for 18 years. And then we have other, you know, we have other cross-chain protocols coming. And all of these things, obviously we're going to run into another bear market, but all of these things will hopefully sort of keep me. I run a business in real life, and it takes up, you know, I have to run that business. We've got maybe 30 employees, and you know, I'm working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, running that business. And to think that some of these crypto projects could surpass in a couple of years what I spent 12 to 15 years building in the real world. So, you know, my exit strategy has completely changed from now to, as there is no real exit strategy. Yes, I'll take profits. I've been building my bags for the last 2 years. I've been building my positions. But yes, take some profits. But, you know, I really hope that I can make some smart moves, and that a lot of the, you know, I can earn myself a lot of passive income and continue to make money through crypto, regardless of whether it's bear market or bull market.
Yeah, but Ali, you mentioned something very critical, I think, very important. Crypto is the most dynamic industry, and not only finance industry, but I think at this moment is the most dynamic, changing industry at all, and you have to adopt. You can't, your plans will change every single day or week. You do have to change your plans, adopt to the changing crypto environment for sure.
I think an interesting point of contention is, like, we have to look at where we are moving in rapid real time. Like, it took us, what, our entire humanity to get to flight, and 65 years later, we're up in space. Look how long we had a landline for, right? Long curly Q phones. Now everyone's got a cell phone. No one even knows what a landline is. So when we're looking now with AI, how quickly that's moving, how crypto is a different way to decentralize absolutely everything. Remember, the first blockchain was ham radio. The first Bitcoin was EverQuest gold mining. The first, let's call it NFT, was email with an attachment with a read-write receipt. The first DEX was the WoW auction house. Like, these idioms of where we come from should at least give us a glean of where we are going quickly. And that is going to force adoption and use case, just like someone that still has an AOL email address that doesn't know how to.
I do. I've got Alan Kane 1 at AOL.com. I still use it to this day.
You're a savage.
Don't tell Larry your email address, whatever you do.
You got spammed.
So the interesting thing is, actually, the gift's actually in the chat right now, and he was asking, do you think the next people, including possibly founders, will support Pulsar? It's kind of.
I've seen that comment, and I'd actually, you know, I've got my own set of questions here, but would really love to get everybody's thoughts on that question. I don't know. You want to read it out again there, Larry?
Yeah, of course. The gift himself says, do you think the TitanX community will actually support Pulsar, including the founders? And I'll give a quick little snippet in there. When we actually started this whole thing, we wanted to bind the old Hexagon community, the new Pulsicans, and the TitanX people together. But I don't think people understand that, because we have tribalism and maximalism, and people get in that so me instead of we mentality. But yeah, please open up for the panel.
Yeah, keep that question up for a wee second there, Josh. Anybody else got thoughts on that? I mean, I'll just throw this in quickly, that, you know, TitanX ecosystem, we here are, you know, a massive part of the TitanX ecosystem, and we are all very much supporters of Pulsar and what you're doing. But yeah, anybody else, any thoughts?
I mean, my counter question is why would people not support Pulsar? I mean, like, if you've seen what the Pulsar team's building, like what they're doing, they're a legit team. They're building legit projects. Like, why would the TitanX community not support them? Is really my question.
That's open up to everybody. Anybody any thoughts on that?
So for Titans of Battle, we're kind of waiting on you guys, man, to bridge TitanX over into Pulse Chain, right? So I think I've had this conversation with you about a couple months ago, and we're kind of patiently waiting for you guys to release your tech, so there's more supply of TitanX on the Pulse chain side, right? So we're still waiting patiently, but I will goad you. So when, right? 2 more weeks.
I'll say 2 more weeks, but I'll tell you, like again, like I was saying before, the components that we're trying to figure out is actually really important to be sussed before we're doing bridging, locking liquidity pools, like all the rest of that. Wouldn't you rather have the brakes checked all the way across the board before your parachute triple checked before you jumped out of a plane? So it's the reason why we're doing it piece by piece and component by component. But yeah, bringing TitanX over to Pulse chain is just phenomenal, because Titan is like a coin, just proof of ETH. ETH runs the hell up, which is what everyone's expecting, to then use the buy and burn to do all the rest of that. Now they also have the delayed mechanic on how you can mine. People haven't been mining. You guys are burning. We're going to be burning. So it already adds back into that wedge. But when ETH fees go up or anything else, we want to have that asset over there. So soon, very soon.
Yeah. So our thing with the Wonderland tokens is to have like a web of different LPs of many different tokens, right? So we're paired up with Giannis, Eros, and whatever else tokens that kind of come on. So GIF, definitely PGIF, and as soon as Pulsar comes over, we're gonna buy it, and then we're gonna pair up. So, and definitely GIF moving up in price definitely helped our tokens too. So we welcome.
Are we going to have something for him to pair with on Pulse Chain soon, Josh? Are we?
Yep. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
This is a bunch of non-committal people, because we all know you can't commit until it's real. Oh man, it's coming out. Yeah, we're builders. Stock phrase.
That's the hard part, right? Like that's why we're doing the simulation in real time, because even with the stuff that we had, the GIF is picky as all hell. I'm spatial, he's surgical. And when he does not like something, we bring it back to the drawing board. Even if it's almost there and something's there, he's like, nope, we're going to come back. We're going to rebuild that component, because that's how you actually build something that's evergreen and that can pivot and evolve instead of just being locked into a particular frame of mind. And that's what's super exciting about all of us. Been bullshitting now. God, it's been crazy. Like, when did Titan launch? November? No, October.
October 28th
Yeah,
is
October.
it's a day that went down in history. October 28th.
Shit, I cannot. Time always flies, right? But we've all been bullshitting now, especially in the private rooms, because main chat just gets cattywampus for months and months and months and months in multiple different rooms for months and months and months and months. And that's what's exciting about hanging out and chilling with builders. Not people are like, when moon, when chart, when this. It's actually thinking and sussing out your ideas. Having what I like as a sanity check, talking to other people to help explain other things just differently from the one lens.
I don't know. I've talked to Marek a few times, and he drives me insane. So
actually, what I can't suss what we talked about, but his experience from what he does in the real life is very fascinating to me. Because again, I build simulated realities and worlds, and I have to build fake reality. In real reality, people are lazy, so they can get away with something if you know how to build real reality. And if you're sending someone into space, you're sending them into compressed parts of the ocean. You're sending it into where one component can shift everything off, and then everything's done. That's where sussing out and simulating what could happen, will happen, and should happen is very important. And as builders, always getting that sanity check from your peers to possibly look over here, which is why I saber rattle the damn Mike Sellers videos, because it has nothing to do with crypto. But if you listen to something that's fundamentally teaching everything from chess to checkers to a board game, and now bring it back into crypto, it makes so much more sense, because you're thinking about it not in the crypto lens. You put a different set of glasses on. So, I mean, that's why I love building with builders.
okay, lovely. Moving on, then kind of just one more thing that we'll go around the room and ask. It's just what does the TitanX ecosystem look like in the next 6 to 12 months? Larry, do you want to give us a few hints first there? What do you think is going to happen over the next 6 to 12 months in TitanX, and maybe where that leads to over the next few months?
To be fair, I have not looked at any of the metric data. I'm just barely keeping up with Telegram channels and direct messages these days. Like yesterday, I had like 15 missed phone calls on missed phone calls. And I'm like, Jesus, I can't even keep up with this. But I knew from the very beginning, this is a very, very interesting system. Like the GIF and I were talking about this, and we've been sparring together back and forth for years now. And we're like, we can work with this. We understand these mechanics because we lived through the creation of Pumpamentals, which pumpamentals.com takes you to hex.com. And we understood all these things because we've seen what Zen did. We've seen how that all evolved. We knew the components were there. And that's what's really interesting that we liked about the build on TitanX lens and glean, because it offers you the ability to not take on everything alone, not to be siloed into one particular pivot that you have to do by yourself, rather than spreading the load out and letting other people build it as a utility tool instead of just as a utility token. And I haven't seen all the numbers. I haven't gotten to check into the Saturday or Sunday streams because, man, those are my days of sleep, especially these days. But it will work because we haven't had people mining. Eventually, the buy and burn will move through whatever it needs to do, but you should never depend on a buy and burn. It is not a savior. It is a knife that has a particular job that's pairing. But the other thing is just handling the inflation, which is done load balancing by people like us. So I find that it's really fascinating to give a scope on cost, price, or all the rest of that. It's really hard to tell. But the more people that build unilaterally, the more it can all come together, which is actually the fun thing about Pulse Chain. Yeah, price may be going down, but when ETH launched, it didn't have a DEX, it didn't have aggregators, it didn't have all this stuff. It had plenty of time to mature and going from crawling, running to riding a bike. We're doing all of that at the same time. So in Pulse Chain, when everything locks together, we have everything at the same time. I wish we had a better block explorer? Goddamn right I do. However, when all of this turnkeys, you now have a much smarter, more educated, decentralized army of not just ants, but like worker bees and builder bees, and actually coming in to create hive-minded mentalities. And so that's why the Richard Hart ideals are the most important thing to break away. Tribalism and maximalism, that's always going to shoot yourself in the foot. You know, it's like carrying a gun loaded in your fucking pocket. It's just not going to end out well for you. But the ideals that you hold dear, that's what makes it internal for you. And that's where it's exciting to see what Titan's going to do because of all the people like us getting together, being transparent, talking with each other. Do it. Go ahead.
Love it. Anybody else? Yeah, dude.
My guess, like, and I haven't really been keeping up with the charts too much lately. Not
even so much just price, just where you think the ecosystem's headed.
Up only, right?
Good answer.
That's the right answer. That's it.
I was just gonna say
just end the stream.
I was just gonna say, like, I wasn't expecting the TitanX bear market to end. Like, I thought it would be a bear market at least all the way through day 280. And I'm surprised to see that the bottom is a month ago. We've had a solid month of going up, which really surprises me. But like, it's hard to say, like when is Blaze, when is Pulsar launching? Like, y'all are gonna help this ecosystem, and that's my whole thought process with all this. Is like every project that comes out can only help TitanX. True. Like, we are all attacking that supply together. We're all working on locking it up, burning it, whatever you guys want to do with your specific projects. It can only help. And
yeah,
so, like, to see all the color just,
sorry as well. It's not even just the projects that we're launching. Everybody here has plans, of other things that we can do next to, sort of help even further and build out and tie a lot of this stuff all together. So there's so much exciting stuff going on. James, you any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I do. So even though Baby Dragon X is one of the small ones, the little brother of a lot of these protocols, we did create something that is public called the grant pool. So this grant pool is for what's next, and it's very visible. Like, a lot of founders have kind of a quiet thing over here. We're going to do this over here. We want to be really public and say, here's a grant pool. This will be something that benefits Baby Dragon X, whether it funds the next thing that we do, or whether there's a new upcoming project that maybe they just need some funding. I think that, kind of an incubator type thing. Somebody mentioned Ethereum when it first came out. They didn't have anything, but look what they've grown into. They've got all kinds of incubators and accelerators and all that type of thing. I would love to see something like that with TitanX ecosystem. It's going to have to come from us. It's not going to come from one person at the very top or the second. It's going to come from like a joint effort.
Lovely. What is that's? I haven't heard of that. Sorry, James. Is that up and running? Is there what's
up and running? There's some funds in there. So whenever we had the fair launched, there was of course, you got your marketing piece, you've got your future rewards. We've got a pool for future rewards. Then we've got a pool for grant. So this is just pools. It was just, just allocation from the fair launch.
Oh, cool. Punky?
Yeah, what were we talking about again? I was listening to James.
Just kind of any ideas of where you think the TitanX
ecosystem, right?
Over the next sort of 6 to 12 months.
Well, the thought that I was having was just I'm not that technically in statistics or anything, but there's a certain point when the inflation is going to stop, right? And the deflation is going to kick in, right? And everybody knows this, and it's in the tech, right? So that's what we're all here for, right? That we all believe that at some point that TitanX is going to deflate, right? But so with us building on top of this protocol, we just need to kind of make that point sooner, make that happen a little bit sooner in the market or in the calendar year, right? So I think we're on a good point, right? And a good trajectory. And with more of the protocols coming out, I think this will definitely help, right? And yeah, I don't know exactly when that date was going to be and what the that first day, what is it, the big inflation day, right? I don't know what that date is. It's in August, right? So
day 280,
the 280 day, right? So yeah, it'll just be interesting to see what happens in the market, right? With that, and then past that point, right? So
absolutely,
kind of waiting to that time, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think is it my turn now, right?
Yes.
Ali. It's TitanX. In my opinion, it's all about the community at this moment in time. The future of TitanX is definitely community, and that's us being here, builders, expanding the TitanX ethos and expanding the TitanX community as we do on the different chains. So I'm very, very bullish and very positive about the TitanX. Because of the community, because of what all we're doing here in this panel and outside of it. So it's very positive. From my perspective, it looks very good.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, even just chatting with all you guys here tonight, makes me feel optimistic about what's going to happen over the next few months. We've got our own Blaze protocol building, and there's a lot of exciting things coming down the line. But look, we're approaching the hour mark here. We'll try to keep our streams just around that 1 hour mark. So has anybody got any sort of last things that they'd like to throw in? We've got to do a draw for our $1,000 worth of ETH giveaway. So we need to squeeze that in at the end of the stream here. Some lucky Blaze follower is going to win $1,000 here. So we need to do that. But yeah, before we do that, has anybody got? Did any of you guys enter that? Did you?
I mean, I just want to say, as a general rule of thumb in anything that I deal with in life, I always go with the mythos of it's never me, it's we. And if we continue that as builders, as creators, as use case people, regardless of chain or agnostic or token or protocol or all the rest of that, when we look at the DeFi for all, it's really the most important part. And from our side and what we're doing over here, we hope to keep spinning that up to bind communities together to build something awesome with awesome people just like you guys. And that's super exciting. It gives me a fresher breath air when I got to go back in, work more hours, do more stuff, because if you want to live in the future, you have to build it and build it responsibly.
Woo! Well said.
That's one of your best phrases ever, Crypto Kool-Aid. You want to live in the future, you got to build it. My God, that's good.
Cut it. Yeah, anybody else? Anything they want to throw in before we finish up?
I love it what
how
the
do you follow?
crypto said. Sorry, yes, yeah. This I will remember this one. Use it if you want a good future, a nice future, or whatever future you want. You build it yourself.
Okay, well, look, if nobody else has anything they want to say, I thank you very much to everybody for coming along tonight and sharing your thoughts. With a couple of difficult enough questions there for everybody to answer. And yeah, it's been a great panel. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Was wondering how I was going to actually manage having a conversation with six other people on one page. But it kind of went very well. And thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Good luck to each individual with their own goals, projects, and I hope, and I know we all talk to each other, and yeah, it's great to see everybody that's here building and also working together and helping each other out. So yeah, thanks everybody for being here.
Thanks for a great stream.
Yeah,
See you
thank
all
you.
later.
See y'all guys.
Thanks for having us here.
Thank you.
It's fun. Just one last thing before I jump off. We're gonna we'll close this stream down and then we'll run the giveaway in a minute and we'll announce it shortly.
We'll bring Justin. Can you
Yeah,
kick all these idiots off and bring Justin up to do that?
We'll leave of our own accord. You don't have to throw us out. We'll leave. Bye now, friends.
We've lost Justin for a minute, so we'll close down. Right, cheers everyone. See you later.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
Mary.
you.
Thank you.
There he is. There he is.
Bye-bye.
What's up?
Pleasure.
I forgot I got to add myself. So what we're having issues is Twitter. There's so many people that are constantly entering the contest right now that I cannot update the API per their algorithm. And I've been trying to do that. So it's been past 15 minutes. And so we will come back on and announce the winner. So I apologize, guys.
All good.
So how long do you want to wait? We can sit here forever or just I'll come back on stream. But you guys were epic and that was awesome. So I just want to make sure everybody gets in the contest.
What happened?
By the way, I think we're still live.
Yeah, we are still live. I'm just trying to figure out when. So we're going to end the stream and we'll maybe just do it live on Twitter or something.
We could bring back here too. So
We
yeah.
can't announce it now. Let's shut it down. Thanks everyone for coming, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Peace.
Later, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. See ya.